And good evening, Sacramento Libertarians and friends of the Libertarian Party. With me today will be Ben Weir, but before we get to our new secretary, we will got to clear up a bit of spilt milk, so to speak. It's been a while since we've gotten with you. We missed the opportunity to change our bylaws. It couldn't be helped, but we missed them, so to speak, and it was my responsibility to kind of shutter that through the system. But we had a very tight window and a very specific set of tasks to get done. You have to send written notification 30 days before the meeting to change the bylaws, and we were so late to begin with. Then we had I had some health issues, which is why we haven't been here the last few weeks, and so we missed it. So what our goal will be is we will essentially continue on with the bylaw subcommittee. Over the course of the next 9 months, 9 months, we'll completely rewrite those things, and then we'll hand that off to the next year's officials committee, and then they can make sure the process gets done. They can focus on the process, making sure the process gets done, the I's get dotted, the T's get crossed, and we are in full compliance to change the bylaws. I think that's the way we'll move forward. I mean, we're going to talk about that at our next meeting, which we're in the process of scheduling to make sure, but I think that's the way we're kind of heading. And with that covered, we also do have something to announce, but I'll talk with Ben about that, another change. Not quite spilt milk, but it is a change. And so Ben, this is Ben Weir. He is your recently elected secretary, and I know the previous secretary was ready to retire. I personally know this. She was ready to retire. She was ready to step aside. So we greatly appreciated your willingness to step up and step into this role. And so
I'm glad to be here.
So if you wanted to just give the audience a short breakdown on, why you decided to try for secretary.
I have been a voting libertarian for a long time, and I wanted to start getting more active locally because I believe that a lot of local change is what really impacts communities. So really, I just wanted to get more involved with LP, become a voting delegate, and I decided to join national, state, and Sacramento, and that's when I reached out to you guys. And I was just wanting to kind of get started and help out as much as I can.
No, it's a good place to start, on these roles. I know you're in the middle of education, so you're in the middle of an education. Jesus, you'd think I'd never been educated. You're in the middle. Yeah. you're in the middle of completing your educational process, and so some of those skills that it takes to kind of get through that actually kind of transfer to the secretary role. If kind of my,
I'd be a terrible secretary. Interest in finishing school, really, but. When I was in college the first time, I was a horrible student, like ADHD, but I wasn't on medication or anything. And I actually went into the Army and was, after a little while, medically discharged. And then I haven't done anything with my education for probably like 8 or 9 years. But I just decided this last 2 semesters to finally finish it. I'll have hopefully my economics degree by the end of fall. We'll see.
You don't look old enough, Ben, to have that kind of a military experience, college, and then college again, and then have 8 years.
I'm old.
You don't look old enough. I'm just saying, man.
I've lived a long life in these 31 years.
Oh, it's funny. My son's birthday. It's 29 birthdays today, which reminds me that my oldest son is 31. So you're actually is the same age as my oldest son, which is you don't look old enough. I don't know if good, bad, or indifferent. You don't look old enough. So let's clean up a little bit of our spilt milk. We did have a picnic plan, but we are gonna. I think the plan is to push back the date because with my illness issues and everybody else has been kind of busy. Some work-related issues came inside, so we're going to push that back. I think you and Emily are going to decide on the date, and we're going to move forward from there. So you guys want to look forward for that change relatively soon. I don't think we want to wait too long before we we do that again. That's one of those things we'll probably nail it down here on the meeting next week. If we can get lucky, we can get this meeting scheduled and get it done next week. If we get some luck done, and I think that's kind of. But how did that picnic idea come along? I know it's something I've wanted to be able to get done, but we haven't had enough hands and energy. And so I think your willingness.
Well, you've got energy, I guess, now. So I just I'm really a big believer in community events and getting people together, because that's how we make that change that we want to see in the world. So having community events where we can get everyone together, not necessarily like a partisan thing, just like get people of all backgrounds together and either share a meal or share a beer or just common interests and just have a good time.
It's not necessarily a political event, right? It's just it's literally just a family picnic where you get together. We have, you have a family picnic. Maybe you invite Yolo County, they're a new county, invite them over and just kind of have a good time, chat. Of course there'll be, there's libertarians around. You're going to have some chats about politics. I don't think you could actually help it, but that's not the point. The point is to kind of start building, not just a political party, but a political community, because that's kind of how we, that's what we're different, right? That's how we're going to be different. We have to sell our differences, not sell the same things. I think that's kind of, it's part of it. Sell our humanity, sell exactly what we are. We fundamentally focus on human rights. It's where our whole platform is based on fundamental human rights. And there's nothing more human than sitting together and having a freaking picnic.
Exactly. And, we're hopefully going to have an event of some sort every couple of months, really, or even sooner, but just different things that people can just get together and have a good time. I know we're talking about the picnic, possible political rally for people coming up, and then also in September, a rally at the Capitol building for 9/11, which the details are being worked out on to find speakers still, but that's going to be a big thing as well. And let's just keep doing it. Like have a range day at the gun range. I got
someone could teach me how to shoot. I'm used to bows and arrows.
I've been shooting since I was like 5, so I can help you out.
And then we can do other fun things like have a bowling team. So things that aren't necessarily political, but just
or like softball. I hate softball.
Yeah.
I can't play softball. I'm so bad at it, but I would still play.
But that's not the point, right? I'd be terrible at bowling, but it's not the point. The point is it's beyond community. We're trying to build a community. It's beyond politics, and it's building a community. And it's that humanity that it will serve us well as we move down and become more and play a more important role in politics in the future. It's that shared humanity. We have to just show people that we're not just pure politics all the time. They'll tune us out.
We're people.
Yeah, we're real people. We're not all political. We're not political activists 100%. It's 10% of us. We just, we're normal human beings. The rest of us, we really are. And we just kind of have to kind of sell that. And so you talked about a rally on the Capitol in September. How much of that are you ready to talk about? I know we've had some backroom discussions, and so I don't want to push you if you're not willing to talk about anything.
So far, I've got, I believe, 2 or 3 confirmed people that are wanting to come speak at that. We're looking to possibly have up to 4 or 5 speakers coming from across the country, probably some live music. I do have like an acoustic country act that is interested in playing. Fellow libertarian from Yolo County, actually, the new affiliate up there. We're just trying to get it all pieced together at this point. We have the permits. We're going to have booths. It is, it's just going to be a good time. We have the west side of the Capitol building right in front of the Capitol, right by the stairs there. And it's going to be on 9/11, anti-war, anti-intervention rally. And there's no other place libertarians should be on 9/11 in this area.
No, it's a good event. And which actually brings me back to you've been able to in your short time here, you've been able to start putting together. You've helped us put together the picnic, something I've wanted to get done, and you've been able to kind of take the lead on that. You took the lead on this 9/11 thing. You actually came to me with the idea. It's like, hey, I'm fully supportive. You know, it's your baby. Run with it. We'll give you whatever support you need, or we can do. And so that's, you know, we greatly appreciate it, because one of the things we have had is, you know, there's a few hands. Now we are looking to kind of maybe add some hands to the board in the next election. So we'll be talking about that.
Yeah, another thing with these events too is like it'll help us bring in some more volunteers. And if anyone's out there watching this and interested, we definitely could use some volunteers with LP Sacramento. We got a ton of stuff coming up.
There should be a link to that in the comments. Yeah, there's a link to that in the comments where you can go. Right now, it's just got a text box. So if you're interested in helping at the picnic, put picnic. If you're interested in helping with the 9/11 rally, put 9/11 rally. I will do my best this week to get that page updated to a drop-down menu so you can actually click which event you want to help at. I know we can do it. I know the system can do it. It's just a matter of trying to remember how. You know, I took the classes months ago. I may have to go back and redo the classes.
I'm hoping to have the full details locked down, hopefully by mid-July, which gives me like really 2 weeks of crunch time. So I'm working on it. We're gonna have lots of information coming out in flyers about it. So
and you are an experienced event putter on, so to speak, right? You kind of.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I've been kind of like a promoter. I've booked a lot of concerts and a couple festivals, music festivals. I've been like in a band for a long time, since literally like 2012. So, you know, all the contacts that I've made through there and all the friends I've made, it just kind of took me into wanting to book music. And in Denver, I did a lot of that. I haven't really done a whole lot of that out here in Sacramento. But I played a few concerts out here, but that's about as far as it's gone out here, other than the Libertarian Party stuff. So.
Yeah, well, it's a transferable skills, right? It's the skills.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the skills are the same, whether it's trying to book a music or trying to, you know, book a political rally. You know, there's some skills are different, but the same basic skills are. Your learning curve is a hell of a lot shorter than mine would be on putting events. You know, you need to build something on an assembly line. I can help you there.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
You need someone to quality assurance things. I'm good at that. You know, so we all have our skills, and so it's nice. Our skill set that the current board has is actually it's a nice skill set we have. We've got, you know, from Emily and Janine, who are good with the numbers and good with detail work. You've got me, who's does this kind of thing, and then we've got you with these event skills. You know, you put those together, and we can actually start getting some work done. It's a, you know, we've been just keeping the lights on recently with everybody's own personal lives and the way the world has kind of fallen apart. Just keeping the lights on has kind of been all we can do, and so it's good that we have some youthful energy and some skills and a different set of skills. It's been nice to have you around.
I don't know if you can call me like youthful, because I have gray hairs now, but I mean, younger than you though.
compared to my old self, yeah. I'm not even that old. I'm only 51, but you know, I've lived a exhausting life, so to speak. You know. What is it? You burn my candles at both ends when I was young, and so yeah, now it's all bad. I'm falling apart at the seams. I'm falling apart at the seams, but I'm getting better. We'll kind of discuss. I've been dealing with some health issues for the last. We're actually trying to figure it out. We don't know if it's the last 5 weeks or the last 5 months. It can actually be either one. And so we just actually now started treatment yesterday. It's put so long. They didn't want to treat the wrong thing, so we actually haven't been treating anything except for rest and relaxation. And so it's actually nice now that I've actually started a treatment, and I can actually look forward to actually starting to plan a future again. It's just kind of getting through each day has been difficult. And, you know, you're wondering, God, is the party suffering because of my medical issues? And you're making that decision. But, you know, if I'm not there doing it, someone else is going to do it, which means they're not doing something else. And you know what? We're working it out. we're working it out. The next 6 months, we'll get a lot of work done in the next 6 months, and then we'll see where we go from there. It's
definitely. Yeah. We're glad to have you back, by the way. So
yeah, I'm feeling better. I still get these days. We were supposed to do this last night, but somebody fell asleep.
It wasn't me.
No, of course not. You're the youthful one. I fell asleep. So, and then woke up at 3 a.m. But that's what happens. You go to a hospital, you spend 7 days in a hospital out of 2 weeks, and you have no schedule anymore because you get woken up.
It takes a lot out of you. Yeah.
You get woken up every 3-4 hours, which is just long enough for me to be functional. And so yeah. It's been rough, but I don't want to complain because it's been a rough year for everybody, and so it's just what do we do around here? When we spill milk, we clean it up and we move on. That's kind of what we do. Are there any last words for anybody? No, you don't got any last words for anybody there, Ben?
I suppose that I do. I guess I would say that my dogs are barking in the background.
Your dogs have something to say.
They have something to say for sure. I am glad to be here and getting to work with Libertarian Party of Sacramento, and hopefully this is a long-lasting relationship for all of us. And we're making positive little changes here and there at a time, and we're going to keep building that. The only way to really win elections is by keep finding more and more libertarians and just bringing them in one by one, so I'm trying to help coordinate stuff like that, and hopefully we'll get stuff done. Other than that, just keep an eye out for these events coming up, and that's pretty much the gist of it.
Yeah, we've been making progress. We've actually increased our voter registration every year. We've gone from when I joined the board, we were at just under 8,000. I think last time I checked, we were over 11,000. So in 2 years, we've gained. I think we've gained a few thousand, and we haven't even actually done any dedicated drives. That's all organic. That's all actually organic, completely organic registrations. So the fact that we've been completely organic registrations without doing registration drives, I think we've done some good work. It's just it feels like sometimes when you're kind of in the middle of it and you're too close to see how the results of your work, in a sense. And you have to take a step back and you say, hey, as tough as it's been, our main goal, which is to grow the party, we've managed to grow the party. But doesn't mean we can't do better in the future, right? The goal is to be better.
Well, and the recall election's here. So, yeah. This is going to be a big fall for everybody in California. There's going to be a lot of political games being played. And I think that libertarians are I'm not saying that we're like a safe or middle ground at all, but we are here for people's civil liberties and their rights. We want people to be free all the time, and we don't want to have to keep negotiating rights away, especially after the horrible lockdowns we just faced over the last year and a half, and now all the other nonsense that's going on. This is our fault to make a difference and to make a stand and show them in the booth in the polling areas that we're serious about fixing California. So it's not going to happen without us.
Yeah. Well, I proved a libertarian can get 26% in California, and in this recall race, 26% could win.
You got to get those rookie numbers up, though. Those are rookie numbers right there. So,
hey, man, I was a rookie. What do you want from me?
You were. Hey, that's what it means, though. It's 26% of the vote this time. We got to get 46% of the vote next time, and then we're seriously neck and neck. And every single race at this point is winnable in this. Like so many people are leaving the state because of how it's being run into the ground by certain people, and this is our opportunity to fill those gaps and be the voice of reason in the nonsense. So,
well, I want to end with this, and maybe you've actually been out networking. You've been actually going out doing the networking that I'm supposed to do. So I actually greatly appreciate that. You went to the XCOM meeting up in Folsom, right? and you've been out talking. You've been out doing the kind of networking that I haven't been able to do. So I actually greatly appreciate that. But I do want to, if you want to, my biggest issue in the campaign, it was not actually a specific issue. It was transparency, right? Because you can't fix what you can't see. It was accountability, not for punishment, but for improvement. And then the third one was, oddly enough, it was essentially a, what is it, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington type. We simply talked about basic representative politics. That how actually people, you can't actually represent everybody, but the honor in politics is attempting to represent everybody. And that's where when politics is actually honorable. And we don't have that anymore. People are just representing themselves or their niche, their activist groups, their funders, their political parties, whatever you want to, however you want to do it. And if you sell what people aren't getting, they'll listen. I had people who weren't going to vote for me who agreed with me on those issues. Who said, if I actually thought you could win, we would vote for you. I said, well, if you actually would vote for me, I could actually win. But I understand where you're coming from. They're long-term Democrats, and they just couldn't get it to themselves to pull a trigger. But they're thinking about it. Maybe they couldn't pull it this time, but maybe next time. It's
just the seed, right? Like, just planting the seeds, and the transparency is huge. There's no transparency when it comes to politics, almost at all. So
no, it surprised me. It actually surprised me that my biggest issue was actually transparency. And I actually kind of I labeled it as radical transparency. And that actually played twice as good as any other issue. And so if you're going to, if you have a word, spit that in there. That
we're going to have more people. The more a party grows, we are going to have more people running for office in every election, city councils, and like I said, locally, that's where things get done. Those are the people who really, truly make a difference in your community. So we're going to have some libertarians getting elected. I guarantee it in the next year or so.
Yeah. Well, and transparency and accountability is something you can also do, even if you're out of power. You can also be completely transparent. And by you being transparent, you can force everybody else to be. And so it's something you don't actually need to have political power to kind of force it more that direction. So all you have to do is win, be transparent, and you've kind of got yourself made. So, all right, Ben, I think, unless you've got something else to say, I think that's about it for tonight. We will try to be back next week, but I can't make any promises on these chats for the next couple weeks as I get my health. But as next weeks come by, I'm sure I'll be feeling better, and we'll do these more often. Look for an email in the next day or two about a business meeting scheduled, and another outreach email. I think me and Ben, we've been working on one, or we've been trying to work on one. Actually, maybe it's a good thing we didn't get it done, to be honest, because it was going to be about the picnic, and we didn't, and we're pushing the picnic back. Our inability to get that done actually may have paid off. So
possibly, yeah.
You have access to that event, and we're going to do a little bit of business right here on the live stream. So if you don't mind, you have access to the event. You're the one who can change that event, so you're going to go ahead and make a change and post date it or whenever we do that.
Yes, I am going to do that. Absolutely.
So I just making sure, because I'm not sure I can do it. I know we connected it to the page, but anyway, we've got to get you access to the page. We'll discuss that at the next meeting as well. All right, Ben.
Awesome.
Unless you got anything else, we are out of here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for watching us. If you want to contact me, you can send me an email at jjust@lpsac.org. You can always go to lpsac.org, click on the comments button, leave us a comment. There's a volunteer button, there's an engagement button, and that website will be improving as we go along in the summer. And from me and Ben, we want to thank you for joining us. And as always, love everybody.